Hello, we are team Unpickable Pickles from Ukrainian Catholic University. And in our project, we want to tell you about a new approach to the news sharing in the smart city.
In fast-growing and progressive cities, it becomes harder and harder to catch the relevant news. We get information from the news channels. But before publishing, it goes through the lots of different preparation steps. Journalists must look at all the information and events beforehand and make decisions about what they report and what they do not. Then they interview witnesses or spectators, then write the story material. This situation forces reporters and news editors to make difficult decisions under the pressure and with limited time. Journalists are making choices about what is newsworthy and, in fact, what is news. But what is news? If it is important for a lot of people, the typical news story is spread quickly among the masses, is discussed widely, and then, after some time, the impression placates and fresh, catchy things embrace our minds. A nice word to explain this is hype. Yes, hype. We all know about hype, especially those who are interested in business incomes out of it. Our idea is to use this hype knowledge to point out important news. Because the news which we need to make our life in the city more comfortable are precisely the ones just posted and quickly picked up from primary sources. For example, if you want to decide your way to work quickly, you need to know about car crashes that occur on the road as soon as possible. We think that with today's technologies, news must be chosen and spread automatically among the citizens, based on what the person is interested in, where do he or she spends their time, and based on their selected preferences.
This approach is often used for targeted advertising. But what about newsfeed? Let's, for example, take a look at Facebook. Its content is formed based on your friends' activity and news from pages or groups you follow. As a result, your newsfeed is very personalized. It may look like you only see the news you want to, but it's not true. In fact, you explicitly declare where you want to get news from, but not which news you want to see. Such model restricts the source of information. You live in your own news box. As a result, information that might be relevant to you can be easily missed due to the fact that none of your news sources found it important. We were thinking about some solutions that could help us to handle this problem without losing the quality of newsfeed and without making any discomfort to user experience. So what we came up with? Let's reverse principles how newsfeed is formed. Instead of choosing where to get news from, let's ask the user what he wants to see, and based on that, we will decide where to get information from and how. So now you are no longer limited by your news box. Information is gathered from all available sources. With such approach, we can be sure that relevant information, which previously could have been lost, now will be delivered to the user. It also should be noted that this won't affect default behavior of users' newsfeed.
So, our idea is to stream the news from several sources, including news channels, social networks, official sites of the infrastructures, analyze them using our machine learning approach, and calculate the weights of each news post. Based on the number of news, the coefficient of how fast posts gain reviews in period, and the repost coefficient, we clusterize our news channels into K-clusters. The cluster represents how quickly typical news is spread from a special channel, so each post in a channel is assigned with a clustering coefficient, which is used when we calculate post importance among all the other news. It would be hard to calculate this manually, so the machine learning clustering algorithms are of the great use here.
Where would we get data? As mentioned before, there are many public news data sources. But the problem is to aggregate them efficiently. With nowadays technology power, we can stream the most popular social networks for each region. In our country, Ukraine, we mainly use Telegram for youngers and Facebook our seniors to gain news in different projections. Due to the Facebook API limitation, we concentrate on Telegram channels. Using tgstats.com website, which provides simple but quite good API for graphing statistics about channels and posts. We store our data in Elasticsearch as it is an excellent database for streaming of colossal amount of the data. We made a pilot version of our project, for now, based only on Telegram news channels. You can try it. In the short term, we want to add news from the city government official websites and some local news sites. We decided to clean our posts on the flow out of those that contain advertisements, spam, jokes, information about media, films and pictures.
Let's see on the real data, for example, accidents. Through history, we can detect peaks, but they are the ones which are talked by media, and you anyway will be in the mainstream. But what if we are interested in reading news instantly, particularly in accidents? With such a significant amount of data we get every day, it is hard to pick relevant, but it's crucial in some cases and can help avoid dangerous situations. Also, we plan to add the feature of selecting your district in the city and several categories of news that you are interested in. First of all, when housing and communal service infrastructure decides to put off the light or water services because of some planned work, and you want to know about such things beforehand, you can choose the category Communal Services of your district. Secondly, you can select the category of the general city municipalities to be aware of city planned events. We can also select information about gatherings of a chosen community or announce breaking news about some adjustments or corruption to expand awareness among the citizens. And of course, information about traffic jams, road repairs, and car accidents. We believe that our idea can be enhanced in different aspects and bring a new approach to the news spreading in our cities. This can save approximately 30% of the time to news companies and, what is more important, quickly convey target news may save time, money, or even life to thousands of citizens.